Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Audi at Wesley Chapel, and guess what? We have probably one of the most iconic supercars of all time. This is a 2020 Audi R8. But before we dive into this supercar, really a streetable daily driver supercar from Audi, let's talk about what's going on here. So the R8 first made a public scene back in 2003, if you could believe that. 2006 was the first year of this vehicle. Now, since 2006, there's been some changes. Originally, it started with a V8. Originally, you could have a manual transmission. Fast forward to 2020, we are now looking at a V10. No longer a manual transmission option, but boy, oh boy, does it have a slick shifting 7-speed DCT, what Audi calls their S-tronic transmission. Now, the bad news is it's getting to the end of the line. We're getting to the end of the line here for the Audi R8. So what I want to try to figure out is, should you be getting one of these before they disappear forever? Or is there another supercar, a daily drivable supercar that you should be parking in your garage? Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, the lines. The styling is so unique to the R8 and also unique to Audi. Starting at the front of the business, you're going to see a refresh that took place that still exists on this R8 with the whole front fascia. Now, one thing that Audi has done so well for so many years has been their headlight design, and a lot of it has to do with all their racing, successful racing that they've done at the coveted 24 Hours of Le Mans. When I say successful, we're talking about multiple wins. Now, with the headlight housing, you can see very sleek. Everything is blacked out. Of course, you're going to get full LED headlights, daytime running lamps, and turn signals. The way the daytime running lamp runs across the top and then kind of hooks down, really clean look. You can see how they really did some great aero work. And that's the thing, is a lot of this aero work, it's fully functional with some exceptions. I am going to have to zonk the corner vents here. These triangular corner vents are non-functional, and for an R8, that to me is a big no-no. I do like the way you have full functionality down here, some gloss black on that lower splitter extension, and then as we come across the center grille, this is something that is synonymous with Audi styling, is having that large open mouth grille, fully functional. You have the 4 rings. Remember, it all goes back to the World Depression, when the union of those 4 German auto manufacturers to form Auto Union, which is Audi today. Love that iconic look. It's such a symbol that when you see it, you know what it stands for. We have our R8 badge, lots of performance behind that name, and just the way the front has a wonderful waterfall effect to that hood area. Remember, this is a mid-engine, so we actually have a trunk or a frunk located up at the front end of the business. Now, as we come around the bend, you can see just how low this vehicle is at the front, and it's all for that, getting that aerodynamic efficiency, getting that down force. I love the way they kind of extend the side fender area a little bit on that front nose, and then when we get to the wheel and tire setup, this is some really good, awesome performance that you're going to get from this setup. So you're looking at a 20-inch wheel, 245 on the width up front, 30 series sidewall. Look at those rotors. Very unique. They're actually wave rotors. This is technology that was designed on the racetrack, developed on the racetrack. That wave shape, it's almost like a Ruffles potato chip. That design actually helps dissipate heat. Of course, we're going to have a 2-piece rotor, aluminum hat, steel rotor, and then those massive 6-piston Brembo calipers that are going to clamp down on that rotor and just give you ultimate stopping capability, to where you're going to be able to stop on a dime and give everybody on the racetrack change. I promise you that. Another thing that makes this R8 so special and such a high performer is, of course, the Quattro all-wheel drive system. That's going to get the power to the ground, and that's just, like I said, technology not only in sports car endurance racing, but also in rally racing. Audi was one of the first to pioneer all-wheel drive in a rally car. Now, simple and clean on the fender. Semi-tasteful V10 badge. I don't know why they put this here, to be honest with you, but at least it's not too large, and it would have been cool if all of this was blacked out, which I know that is an option, but on this particular one with the metallic gray and those gloss black wheels, I think all the badges should automatically be blacked out. Now, the great news is, as we go down the side, you're going to get color match on the mirror caps. I love the very strong muscular belt line that actually forms into venting on the side. You can see the gloss black side sill extension. All of this is for channeling airflow around the vehicle. And if you watch sports car endurance racing, you would know that in the IMSA WeatherTech series, Audi races in the GTD class with this particular car. So that's where you're getting a lot of that crossover effect from the racetrack onto the road. Keep working our way back. Beautiful carbon fiber accents. And this is something that from the original, I like this setup better. On the original, it was one solid piece. I love the way you have the carbon fiber up top, carbon fiber on the lower section. Now this is functional here. The bad news bears about things is this guy up here is non-functional. So I am gonna zonk that. This is a V10 supercar. Why are we putting fake vents on a V10 supercar? But at least this portion is functional to get all that air into that massive V10, and I can't wait to show it to you. When we look at the rear, like I promised you, up front, the wheels and tires are a little bit more narrow. Out back, it's a little bit more wider. So you have 305s. Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires are great because they're gonna give you grip, but they're not gonna wear out in 5,000 miles. You're still getting a massive 4-piston caliper, those wave rotors. I wanna go get some Lay's chips right about now, the Ruffles, and really just eat those after seeing these rotors because they're just beautiful. Because when you look at other brands, you don't see that. And that's what I like about Audi. One of my favorite parts out back is if you follow the fender line, look how it has a nice curve to it and then it just drops down. Just drop dead sexy. I just wanna rub my hands all over this car, but they'll probably be a little upset that I get fingerprints all over it. Now, when we get to the tail end of the business, I think one of my favorite parts, especially when you go coupe, because remember, R8, you can go roadster. If you want to have your top down fun, you can literally see the V10 underneath the glass. And don't worry, we're going to open up this hatch and let you see the rest of it. But just beautiful, the intake plenum, the carbon fiber, the V10 badge. Now the V10 badge in here makes sense. Why do we need to put V10 badge on the fender? That's kind of pointless. You can see you're going to have that adaptive active aero. I left it in one of the higher positions, but this actually can fit flush as well. If you want to drive the mall parking lot and just have this up to let people know, hey, you got downforce, you could produce some downforce. This produces a bunch of downforce. Now, as we drop down, what's wonderful is you're gonna get, just like up front, you're gonna get slim and trim taillights. I love the LED lighting. Audi does some of the best LED lights in the business. And then all of this venting is fully functional. If you peek behind it, you can literally see the beautiful pipe work for the exhaust coming off that V10. And then you'll notice how we have some gloss black, extends out, and massive. I mean, look at this. This is my fist. Massive exhaust, one on each side of this beautiful functional rear diffuser. Now, one of my, I guess, zonks, if you're gonna call it that, is that this is non-functional down here, but this up top isn't as well. So it's kind of weird how you have the functionality down here, but not up in the middle section. It would have been nice to have that all open. If you're not gonna have it open, just kind of smooth it out a little bit. But boy, oh boy, from the rear, nice, low and wide, and you can see how that air is just gonna drift right off of that rear hatch glass. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop this back hatch and check out the V10. All right, guys, we got the rear hatch open like I promised. Now, what's interesting is, remember, this engine is actually shared with another vehicle. The Lamborghini Huracan, which is part of that Volkswagen Auto Group, shares the same engine, that naturally aspirated V10. And here's another little fun fact. Neither this engine or the one that goes into the Lamborghini are built in Germany. They're actually assembled in Hungary. But underneath that engine hatch, it's just a work of art. There's carbon fiber, that massive cross strut tower brace there to stiffen up the tail in the business. You are looking at, like I said, that naturally aspirated 5.2 liter V10. It's going to be mated to a 7-speed DCT, also called in Audi talk. That is an S-tronic transmission, 562 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in around 3.4 seconds. Quarter mile is gonna blaze by at 11.2, and you're looking at a top speed of 200 miles per hour. That's a length of a football field every single second. MPGs, 13 in the city, 20 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs around 3,500 pounds. But boy, oh boy, having that naturally aspirated V10 is gonna give you a sound that's gonna separate you from the rest of the supercars. And remember, the R8, the days are numbered So if you want a naturally aspirated V10 in your Audi R8, this is the final days. So that's what we're trying to figure out. But if you're ready for a little bit of an eargasm, I'm ready for an eargasm. Let's fire up this V10 and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 Audi R8, and I'm telling you right now, this car fits me like the glass slipper on Cinderella's foot. Absolutely in love with this interior. But I know you're at that point where you're like, Joe, I know you've been saying that Audi is ready to kill this car off. I'm falling in love with it just like you are. And trust me, I know how you feel. But you're probably saying, well, Joe, how much is it? MSRP for the way that this one is optioned is right at $189,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. I love the simplicity in design and style. So you're gonna have, of course, soft touch material everywhere, the contrast stitching, small door pocket, maybe 3 Twinkies, that's about it. But you know what? That's plenty for inside this Audi R8. By the AC vent up top, that's carbon fiber. I love the way the AC vent is built into the door panel. Now, when you go from the door panel to the dash, soft touch material, you got that Quattro name there, means that you have that sticky all-wheel drive. The way the dash is very, very low, gives you great visibility out the front. Carbon fiber around the AC vents, just like on the door panel. And then another one of my favorite touches that Audi does is, guess what? There's no infotainment system. So you don't have to worry about an iPad. You don't have to worry about a screen. You don't have to worry about any of that garbage. You have your AC controls, and look at how it's all built into the actual physical knobs. I think that is ingenious. What I am gonna zonk though is you have heated seats, but no ventilated seats in a $189,000 car. That to me is a major zonk, just like the fake vents at the front end of the business on this vehicle. Now you open up this door, you do have 2 USBs, an aux jack, a 12 volt and wireless charging. And the nice thing, watch how it closes. I love that. The soft touch material, you got your toggle switches, carbon fiber, and then this is gonna control that S-tronic transmission, 7-speed DCT. Love the perforated leather. You got a breath mint holder. That's for your date when you pick them up. Pop a breath mint, not for them, it's for you, because you know you've been eating Funyuns. So pop a breath mint before you kiss them. Love the carbon fiber, simple flat black. Of course, you're gonna get that rotary direct drive control knob. I'll show you what that's gonna be controlling in a second, but the carbon fiber, beautiful, soft touch, and then you're gonna have probably one of the smallest cup holders. So you have these 2 cup holders, and they're actually covered by a lid. I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't even worry about these. You are not drinking in my Audi R8. You're gonna have to guzzle it before you get in. Close the lid. You got the ability to put some CDs in there. You got a nice little storage area space and a cargo net. And then look at these seats. One piece, full leather. The bolstering is spot on the money. Even the bottom bolstering, they didn't just go flat, which is wonderful. Of course, they're full electric for the passenger and the driver. And then when it comes to key fobs, Audi does a great job. Sexy key fob, nice weight to it. It's got the R8 badge on it. Spinning around, nice silver buttons. And it's something that isn't gonna pull down your pants, and it's not gonna hurt you in the family jewels when it's in your jean pocket. Even has the Auto Union badge there. Really digging that. But why don't you come on over? You can see plenty of headroom in here, but why don't you come over to the business end, because not only is there microfiber suede headliner, I'm ready to show you what it's gonna be like driving this Audi R8. Come on over. All right, guys, business time. And I'm telling you right now, like I said, this vehicle fits me like a glove. You can see the beautiful aluminum sill panel, the R8 badge, and even the sill is not very high, so getting in and out is very easy. The foot box looks like it was made for a race car. So you have that aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. Lots of room, even for somebody like myself with bigger feet. I got plenty of space in here, and the seat you could get perfect. Plus, there's plenty of headroom, because remember, if you're doing a track day, they're going to require you to wear a helmet. Another thing that just blows me away is this steering wheel looks like it's out of one of their Le Mans winning race cars. Flat bottom, the R8 badge, the silver trim. I love the way they hollow out the spokes. You have your drive select button here, your bright red stop button for the engine. Beautiful silver, the perforated leather, great thickness. My only zonk, and it's a big one, is going to be for these small paddles, plus they're plastic. And the worst thing is they feel like they're plastic, like cheap plastic. So not really digging that. It is a tilting and telescoping steering wheel, but the thing that I am absolutely in love with is going to be that 12.3-inch digital display, clear as day. You have your different modes that it'll tell you whether you're in dynamic or normal. You could bring up your navigation, the full virtual cockpit, even some carbon fiber, and it's clear as day. These are the touches that when you go the Audi route, you're gonna get in their vehicle, and then all the great finishes in here. But you know what? We're gonna check out the frunk, and then if you're ready, I'm ready. We're gonna do some on-throttle action in this Audi R8. All right, guys, we left Audi at Wesley Chapel. We're in this beautiful 2020 Audi R8, and I'm telling you right now, this car still had that special feeling. Even though there's others that have come to challenge it, it still had that special feeling, and that naturally aspirated V10. I mean, come on. I can have it in manual shift mode, downshifting, on throttle, yeah! Wow! I'm telling you right now, this thing projects you like a cruise missile, and the sound of that V10 right behind us, absolutely just harmonious, and it makes your heart pitter-patter, not like many vehicles can. The instrumentation is so clear. That virtual cockpit, Audi really brought that to the forefront. The steering wheel is wonderful. The only thing that I keep touching that makes me feel that zonk are the small plastic paddles on the back of the steering wheel. But the minimalistic interior, the seats hug you nicely. And you know what? If you want more performance, you can get the performance upgrade that has even more horsepower than this one. So that really is amazing information as well. If you want more power, they have more power. Visibility out the front, clear as day. Even out the back, looks great. Well, why don't we go ahead, let's do a little bit more on throttle action here. So I have it in manual shift mode. On throttle, here we go. Wow, unbelievable. The pops, the bangs. Look at this, so smooth. Input, steering input is so direct. Coming out of the turn, there we go, yeah! Woo! I'll be quiet for a second here. Look at this. Wow. Golly! Woo-hoo-hoo. Brakes feel good. Transition from left to right and right to left. Unbelievable. The way the gearbox shifts, it's like it's got this purpose to it. It's meant to project you into that next gear to keep propelling you down the road. The chassis stays rock solid, stable, and the brakes. Great pedal feel, and we're not even dealing with carbon ceramics here. These are steel rotors, but with that technology, I told you, that wave rotor technology, it really allows you to enjoy that awesome pedal feel. It really does, and you're dissipating the heat so very well. And of course, the Quattro all-wheel drive system. That to me is one of the best in the business when it comes to all-wheel drive. But from a dead stop, on throttle, here we go. Wow. On the brakes. Nice downshifts. Look at this. Look at this. So smooth. So freaking smooth. Unbelievable. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Woohoo! It just shows. And then the thing is that at the end of the day, you could daily drive this car and not have any major issues. Yeah, you could go get a C8 Corvette. I know that's going to be in the comment section, and go ahead, put it in the comment section. C8 Corvette, C8 Corvette. But there's just something about this interior. There's something about the all-wheel drive, and there's definitely something about her back there, that V10 engine. And then here we are sitting in a light, and she purrs like a kitty cat. Everything you touch feels good, fits well, except for the paddles. That's the one area I wish they would have put some better paddles on this thing, especially because if you're using the manual shift mode, you're gonna be touching those a lot in this vehicle, and it would be nice to have a better feeling material there. But let's get on the highway real quick. On throttle, yeah! Wow! Oh my God, unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Very special car. It's a damn shame they're gonna be killing it off, but hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what this car is all about. We're gonna get back to Audi Wesley Chapel and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a nanosecond. All right, guys, it's been one heck of a day out here at Audi Wesley Chapel. I definitely got to thank Mike, Chris, and Adam getting us access to this Audi R8. It really is such a unique supercar, having that naturally aspirated V10, the all-wheel drive, and boy, oh boy, such an exquisite cockpit that allows you to just do the business, and you could daily drive this thing to and from work every single day. But the sad news is Audi has said that the days are numbered for this R8. So if you've been dreaming of having this dream car in your garage, it might be time to make that decision. But if you want to keep seeing supercars like this on Raiti's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Raiti's Rides merch. Got to give it up to Queen of the Camera, and boy oh boy is she loving this Audi R8. Show Lori some love in the comment section because she is busting her butt out here. And Lori, you're doing such a great job. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.